What is up, everybody? My name is Famous and welcome to another episode of Pokemon Go. In last week's episode, we talked about the top 10 Gen 4 Pokemon that you want to save candy for in Pokemon Go. You smashed that like button and I'm thinking that you want to see more content like this, so I decided to put together a video of the top 10 Gen 4 Pokemon non-legendary editions. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we get started into the actual top 10, I did want to go ahead and pull up a bonus Pokemon, and that is Gallade. With a max CP of 2,964, Gallade is a dual-type Pokemon of Psychic and also Fighting. The style of it may look similar because it is the pairing of Gardevoir. How you get a Gallade is you evolve a male Kirlia. Currently, what's going on in Pokemon Go is regardless of its gender, it's automatically evolving to Gardevoir. But what I would recommend you to do is if you do get a male Kirlia, once Gallade becomes available in the game, you would be able to evolve it. You would have it instantly and you would have a high IV one, so just definitely be on the lookout for it. We do have some really good stats. It actually matches the exact same CP as Gardevoir, but picking up that fighting type, we could see Gallade go both ways. It could be great psychically, or it could be great from a fighting sense. It really just depends on the moveset that Gallade gets, but definitely something worth looking at. Number 10. Magmortar with a max CP of 2,980. Magmortar is a pure Fire-type Pokemon. Here is the evolution chain, but when we take a look at the stats, one thing to be very excited about is its attack stat at 247. Magmortar could easily crack the top 5 for the best Fire-type attackers, which is what makes it so exciting and something that I personally look forward to. Number 9. Magnezone with a max CP of 2,996. Magnezone is a dual-type Pokemon of Electric and Steel. Here is the evolution chain. Evolving from Magneton. Magneton is currently not that relevant in Pokemon Go. It doesn't quite crack that top 5 from an electric sense, but it is very possible that Magnezone would be able to crack that top 5. Zapdos and Raikou are really holding on to that 1 and 2 spot pretty strongly, but I would say that the 3 through 6 spot are pretty soft, and I do believe that Magnezone would be able to find its way in there with an attack stat like 238. Number 8. Porygon Z with a max CP of 3,072. Porygon Z is a normal type Pokemon. Here is the evolution chain. Currently, Porygon 2 is not as useful in Pokemon Go, but because it knows so many moves, it definitely possesses the capabilities. We have seen this in Mew as well with such a large moveset. If Porygon Z has the right stats, it could actually become useful. When we take a look at the stats, basically it's going to be a souped up version of Porygon 2, but looking at that attack stat at 264, once again another Pokemon to be excited about from an attacking perspective. We just simply need the move set to be able to complement it. Number 7. Hippowdon with a max CP of 3,089. Hippowdon is a pure ground type Pokemon. When we take a look at the evolution chain, we do have something interesting to talk about, and I'm kind of wondering how Pokemon Go is going to implement it. And that is the idea that the Pokemon actually looking different based on its gender. And we're not talking about something as simple as, oh, the tail looks different. We're talking about a completely different color scheme. If you get a male version of Hippowdon, it will be this kind of sandy color that you see on screen. But if it is a female version, it will be an all-black version. I'm a little bit curious as to how Pokemon Go is going to handle this. But when we take a look at the stats, this is going to be a very well-rounded Pokemon. Ground type is known to have a lot of Pokemon that have very good stats, but unfortunately, the problem that exists in Pokemon Go right now is that the ground type moveset is not able to perform as well as it needs to. So hopefully we will get a better ground move put into the game so that ground type can be able to shine. Number 6. Tangrowth with a max CP of 3,110. Tangrowth is a pure grass type Pokemon. When we take a look at the evolution chain, it evolves from Tangela. But something cool for Tangrowth is the opportunity to be able to crack into the top 5 grass type Pokemon. Currently, with Venusaur, Exeggutor, and Sceptile up near the top, I do think that Tangrowth has a very good opportunity to either be on par with all of those Pokemon or to even be able to surpass it. And that's something that a lot of people would see coming out of left field if you are new and just kind of coming up through Pokemon Go. But for all of the fans out there who are huge Pokemon fans in general, they will know that Tangrowth is nothing to mess with and could actually be a very good option. Number 5. Togekiss with a max CP of 3,171. Togekiss is a dual-type Pokemon of Fairy and also Flying type. Togekiss is going to join the elite Pokemon that are Fairy type that actually have a decent stat. Really, all that exists in the game right now with a very good stat from a Fairy type perspective is just Gardevoir. Togekiss coming in would help add some extra depth to the Fairy type, but what we really need is a good Fairy type moveset to be able to really set it off. So hopefully when Togekiss comes in, we'll be able to get, for instance, a quick move that is a Fairy type. Number 4. Rampardos with a max CP of 3,179. Rampardos is a pure rock type Pokemon. Here is the evolution chain, but what I want to talk about is going to be its attack stat. Oh my gosh, this attack stat is absolutely monstrous. It is definitely up there in the top 10. And that is something that is incredible from a rock perspective and that could allow Rampardos to be a very good rock attacker, obviously dependent on what moveset it actually gets, but this is a Pokemon that I'm excited about that I haven't really heard a lot of people mention, and that I think a lot of people will find out, oh my gosh, Rampardos is absolutely incredible, and people will be fighting for one. Number 3. Mamoswine with a max CP of 3,289. Mamoswine is a dual-type Pokemon of Ice and also Ground type. What's something very cool about Mamoswine is the idea that it could actually end up becoming one of the best Ice-type attackers in the game. That's something that we would really like to see, and Ice actually has a very good spot in the game, with its ability to be able to tackle the Flying type and then also being a very good counter against Dragon type. Ice actually has a very good spot in the game. We just need a Pokemon with the attack stats that is Ice, and Mamoswine is our answer. Number 2. We have Garchomp with a max CP of 3,823. Garchomp is a dual-type Pokemon of Dragon and also Ground type. Garchomp is an absolute monster. I am very excited to see Garchomp in the game. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the stats. Its HP stat is fairly high, as well as its attack. It's a little bit on the low end for a Dragon type attacker, but I would say that Garchomp would fall very similar range of something like a Salamence. Once again, it depends on the moveset, so based on the moveset, it could actually outperform Salamence, pushing it around the top 5 spot, definitely giving Garchomp a very good spot in the game. And now, let's go ahead and move on to the number 1 Pokemon. The Pokemon that everyone has hyped up and the Pokemon that hopefully will deliver. And that is Rhyperior with a max CP of 3,869. Rhyperior is a dual-type Pokemon of Ground and also Rock. It is once again an evolution coming from a Gen 1 evolution, finally getting one in Gen 4. Rhydon is already a great Pokemon, so just imagine getting a souped up version of it in the game is something that a lot of players are going to be very excited about. When we take a look at the stats, it totally shows. It has a high HP, attack, and defense stat. It is across the board statistically a great Pokemon. Now it simply comes down to the moveset, so we're going to have to wait to see what that moveset actually looks like and hope that Rhyperior is going to be able to dominate. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope that you had a lot of fun with it. I hope that you are excited for Gen 4 once it gets added in. What I plan on doing next is going to be the top 10 of the Gen 4 legendary Pokemon, so be sure to drop a like if you do want to see that, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave.